on Facebook or YouTube, say hello. Let me know that this is working. I have been traveling, so I basically this morning just put on my face and pulled everything out of my bags and just went. So my phone and stuff is not even fully charged. Can you hear me on Facebook and YouTube, guys? Let me know. I can see we've got some people watching. Francie, is that Francina? Good morning. If you guys are joining on Instagram. So good on Facebook. Hi, Julie. Thank you. On YouTube, you might have to comment a couple times. I can never see the YouTube comments. I don't know what YouTube's issue is. Catherine, good morning. Good to see you guys. So if this is your first time catching me, maybe you just saw this on YouTube or Instagram, or it came up from the hashtag. I'm Kelsey Humphreys, and this is the Kelsey Show, which is all the videos I put out on the internet, and I have 3 cameras this morning. This is the Kelsey Show Live, and we're talking about motivation, which is kind of my whole shtick. I'm a comedian and an entertainer and a singer, but all of my stuff is to encourage you and motivate you and keep you going towards your goals, and so that's what I want to talk about today, specifically why we procrastinate sometimes and how to get past that. Because tell me I'm not the only one who is a procrastinating fool. Am I right? Just like all the time. So much procrastinating. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I do these every Monday. We're trying this out. A Monday live where we can talk about our goals. I did want to tell you guys something exciting. Let me know where you're watching from. And like I can see that people are there. So comment. Like I can see there's more people on Facebook. So y'all just say no to lurking. Don't y'all be a lurker. Okay, you need to comment and say hello. Good morning. I don't know how to say your name. Oregon. Shout out Oregon. Okay, so let's see. Sometimes Facebook, the comments are delayed. And YouTube, still nothing from you guys. I hope you can hear me on YouTube. Oh, guys, my Auntie Gwen. Hi, Auntie Gwen. Thank you for joining. Good morning. So guys, I want to talk about why we procrastinate sometimes, even on things we want to do. Canada, shout out. Alberta. I know Auntie Gwen is in Kentucky, so good morning, Kentucky. And again, on YouTube, let me know that you guys can hear me and see me. Cheryl, okay, good to know your name. All right, guys, so we've reached crazy time. This is it. We are in the thick of it. Hi, Doug. We are in the midst of just madness. And if you're just joining, I have 3 cameras going so that I can be on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram at the same time. So that's why I'm kind of looking around. I know it's awkward, but that's what I got to do. You know, got to do it. Julie, another Kentucky viewer. Okay, Kentucky coming in hot. I like it. You guys, how did you guys go Black Friday shopping? Were you out in these streets? I want to tell you something. You know how everyone kind of loses their mind right before the holidays and everyone just goes insane, like specifically traffic, waiting in lines. Can you imagine that in a city like Los Angeles? I was not prepared and I had to go get a few things before our trip. So I went out Saturday before Thanksgiving. And I didn't go to the mall, but I had to walk through the mall to get where I was going. You guys, good morning, Tiffany. I'm talking about the holidays, if you can't tell by the way I am right now. It was insane, but you know what I love about LA? Everybody looked amazing, okay? I don't know why, like we're just wearing our best athleisure clothing to go run errands. Oh, you work in retail. Godspeed. Godspeed, Cheryl. So I'm out in LA. I'm at Barnes & Noble, okay? Not a hip joint, at a mall, okay? So nothing cool or hip about it. And this girl is checking out at the Barnes & Noble the Saturday before Thanksgiving, wearing her best, you know, workout clothes. I'm sure she had worked out or was going to work out. But you guys, she was standing there with her toe pointed and she had the booty popped just to check out. As if there were paparazzi. I was like, is somebody Instagramming you? Are you a celebrity? Like, what in the world? And LA is so hilarious. In the middle of this mall, there was a Christmas tree that was seriously, I don't know, like 5 stories tall. LA doesn't do anything halfway. They bring in, they pump in snow. They make snow come out of these snow machines, even though it's 70 degrees. And then there was this Santa's workshop that was way bigger than most of us who live here's homes. I was like, okay, LA, you do you. You do you. But you guys, I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that you did too. I don't want to talk about this here because it's not what this live stream is about, but I actually lost weight over the week of Thanksgiving. I lost weight during Thanksgiving. If you want to talk to me about weight loss, you're going to have to message me because that's not what my live streams are about, but I'm pretty pumped that I finally found something that works for me, and it's not giving up sugar. I did give up sugar for 45 days, and that didn't really change me. Hey, good morning, Katie. Yoga Monica, good morning, good morning. A lot of people on Instagram, so tell me if you're on Facebook. I don't see, my Facebook is kind of locked up, I think. But let's get into what we're talking about. I just wanted to chat as people hopped on. I hope you all, I think we had some people who say they don't do Black Friday, they boycott retail. I totally understand that. Hi, Tommy, good to see you. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know. And again, on Facebook, I know we've got some people in Kentucky, and that's pretty much it. So y'all need to give me some more shout outs. If you're on Facebook, tell me where you guys are watching from. But you guys, so I wanted to talk to you about procrastination today because, oh, also this shirt is so cute. I'll show you on Facebook. I'm a female entrepreneur, which I am. So shout out to Phoebe Says on Etsy. Phoebe Says, tees for female entrepreneurs. They sent me this for free. I wanted to give them a shout out. Okay, so why do we procrastinate even on things we want to do? Hopefully, if you follow me, you guys saw my hilarious video, in my opinion, about Thanksgiving versus Christmas. Should you decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving, right? It was a music video. It was a parody of Ariana Grande's new hit song. So if you didn't know the song, it's not as funny, but, and if you are just joining, we're talking about procrastination. It took me a while to get in a groove this morning, but, oh, hi, Carolyn from Colorado. But I wanted to let people hop on. So we're talking about procrastination. That Thanksgiving versus Christmas video that I did, you guys, it was a music video. It's got over 20,000 views now, which is good for me. And all these people on Instagram, I love Instagram. Everybody's there. Facebook, y'all be slacking. And guys, I did not want to do that video. And what's funny is sometimes we even procrastinate on things that we kind of want to do. Like I knew it would be funny. I already kind of had it written in my head, right? And I just didn't want to do it. I was kind of just dragging my feet. Have you guys ever done that? Like procrastinating even on things that you know are going to be fun, you know you want to do it. Like maybe even putting up Christmas decorations, right? Like we're kind of like, well, I know I'm going to love it and it's going to put me in the spirit, but I just kind of don't want to do it. And look at my shoulders, and it's like all deflated, right? And so I thought about that because I want to tell you guys that Christmas Thanksgiving music video that I did, those videos, when I bust out a music video like that, if it's just me in my house, like you can tell I'm not like out in some studio or something, that takes me a few hours. That's it. Good morning, Gabby. Hi, Dana. Yes, Tiffany says Facebook might be lagging with the notifications. I will tell all of you, if you're not seeing my stuff anymore, you can go to my page and click see first. On Instagram, you can turn on notifications. On YouTube, you can turn on notifications. Because a lot of people don't see my stuff anymore because Facebook hates me. So Facebook changed the algorithm. I'm not going to whine about it. So why do we do that, you guys? Why do we even procrastinate on things that we want to do? Okay, she says, I procrastinate fun things sometimes because I feel sad when the fun has ended and I don't want to deal with the sadness. I don't know if other people deal with this. For sure. For sure. In fact, I feel like that takes some emotional intelligence to even know that that's what that is. That is a great example. Like if you know you're going to start and go do it, then you know it's going to be over. With a wonderful project, you might just not want to start because you know that a lot of people have post-holiday depression. A lot of people go through a lot of sadness after a really fun project is over. So that's a great reason. And for that specific reason, I think we just have to remind ourselves of the joy that happens during that time that is, you know, the present, I guess. Hi, Louise. Like during those few weeks where it is the holidays and you get to enjoy it, think about all those things. So why not start now? Yes, it's going to be over, but you get more time. So reminding yourselves of the positive aspects. But that Thanksgiving versus Christmas video that I did only took me a few hours, you know, to make that and put it out and record it and edit it. because I just make it in my house. I had all those things. I did not go to the store to buy those ridiculous things I was wearing. I owned all of them, and proudly, okay? But I think that there's a lot of things that go into it, especially if, like, let's say you are procrastinating on something that you love doing, like doing a painting or writing poetry or some sort of creative work, like for me with the video. The thing about that is, I think for me, there's a hang up in knowing I'm gonna have to put it out there. Now, that's not the case for everyone, but as soon as you finish creative work, what usually happens? You share it with someone and it gets picked apart, right? Or even if it's not picked apart, like people just might not like it that much, you know? Like with every video I put out, I always have kind of this procrastination where I'm like, ugh, but after I finish making it, the fun part, I edit, I get it out there, I have to actually publish it. What if no one watches it? What if no one shares it? What if people write on there that it's okay, but not that funny? Or you need to, Kelsey, you need to go back to, you know, just doing interviews, or stick with, you know, we don't want to hear you sing, or whatever. All of these self-doubts and insecurities, okay? That's another great reason people procrastinate. You know, anytime, like if you were procrastinating applying for a job that you really, really want, but you're procrastinating because you have to actually go apply at that point, right? You have to actually submit yourself, which means you're open for rejection. That's another example. Same thing if you are, you know, trying to build your side hustle and you know that you need to do some of the stuff you need to do, and some of it's even fun, like going to a party. If you're one of those that throw a party, well, what if no one comes to your party, right? Or what if people show up and then nobody buys and it was a bust? And there's all these insecurities wrapped up in that. Can you guys give me some other reasons why you think you procrastinate? Because everybody procrastinates. And I think we've talked about a few already, like worrying about having to actually put your work out there if you're creating something. There's worrying about people's reaction, people's response. No one will come, no one will like it, no one will show up, no one will purchase. For me, if nobody shares it, that's pretty bad. If you follow me and you love people who make funny videos on the internet or encouraging content, the way to show us love is to share. If nobody shares, that means it was not a good video. Fear of not touching the people you want to inspire. Perfectionism. Katie, that's a great one. Perfectionism is probably the #1 reason. I should have led with that, because for me, making funny videos, you know, there's always something wrong with it. Every single time. Louise, well, there's some things I'd just rather not do, like cleaning. Well, for sure. Pure laziness, Catherine says. You know, I feel like, Catherine, a lot of people are not purely lazy. I think that we've dubbed ourselves that sometimes, and the reality is maybe we're burnt out or we're exhausted, but I don't think a lot of people are super lazy. There are lazy people, but I feel like, especially for those of you who like my content and like to watch this kind of stuff, a lot of us are not lazy. We're burnt out, we're exhausted, or it's something we just don't want to do. In which case, we have to remind ourselves how good it feels when it's done. It's hard to put yourself out there when you've been put down. Exactly. I have had so many ideas fail. I have had so many things that I launched that no one wanted to do, no one signed up, Hi Coach Limitless. You know, I've had so many things just fall flat. And so then every time you can start to get more and more stressed out. Think about all of the people who have said no to being on my show, you guys. So then every time I would get psyched myself out. Like, do I really want to send emails again? Do I really want to ask people? Do I really want to go through this? And all of those things, we have to remind ourselves the benefit. Like, it's worth it versus not taking the risk. The reward is worth it, right? Or versus sitting there on the couch, but then at the end, we feel shame and regret because we think we are lazy, when it's really, if we had just done it, it would have taken 10 minutes to clean up the house, right? And we would have felt better. Tiffany says, I worry about what my family will say if I put something I think is funny out there, like a filter video, and she says, you have too much time on your hands, and I'm shot down. Oh, Tiffany. I definitely have what are you even doing during the day, right? What are you doing? How do you have time to make these videos? Well, first of all, people think it takes me a lot longer than it does. And the same is probably true with you, Tiffany. Like, that Thanksgiving video only took me a few hours. It looks well done because I know what I'm doing. Hey! But, you know, people are like, man, she must spend hours on these videos, and that's just not the case. Now, the interviews do take hours. They take a lot of prep work. They take a lot of setup and production and getting the guests and going to the guests and all that stuff. But the funny videos, so that's one thing we have to remind ourselves, that other people don't know the whole story. But, you know, we have to remember that the payoff is worth it. So it's worth it if that Snapchat video that you're talking about does what you want it to do. Somebody follows you, or you encourage someone, or you make somebody laugh, or somebody decides to buy from you. It's worth it even if your mom thinks you're a sloth, right? It's worth it. It's worth it. So that's part of what we have to remember. If you guys have more reasons you can tell me that you procrastinate, I think we've got a lot of good ones going here. And besides just remembering, Louise asked, so I will say real quick, Louise, I talked about this at the beginning. I have been losing weight. I even lost weight over Thanksgiving. I lost weight over Thanksgiving, if you can believe it. But I don't want to talk about it on this live stream, so you can message me. I'm back on sugar. I only did no sugar for 45 days. I do think that helped to jumpstart me a little bit, but I didn't lose that much weight and I didn't feel that much different. So I switched to something else. And so I'm not going to talk about all the details here, but I feel amazing. And thank you everyone who has been asking me about it and commenting on my videos. So you can message me and I'll tell you the whole story, but I feel pretty good. So guys, here's what I wanted to actually tell you today about procrastinating, because I thought that this specific video example was such a great example, okay? Because it was something I really wanted to do, couldn't quite place my finger on. Oh, here's another great reason, I think, is that we build up in our head that things are gonna take longer and be harder than they really are. So one of the reasons we procrastinate is because we think, oh, it's gonna take forever to do it, it's gonna be really hard, it's gonna be really complicated, and we get overwhelmed before we even start. And I think that was one of the main reasons for me, for that video, in addition to what I already told you guys about, which was being insecure. Good morning, Eric. And here's what I realized, guys, is that if you are procrastinating, maybe even on something you really want to do or you know you need to do and it's not that big of a deal and you're not really sure why you're procrastinating. So like maybe getting out the Christmas decorations. Like, you know you're going to enjoy it once you get it out. You know, yeah, there's a lot of boxes, but why are you putting it off? So one thing I did with this video is like I did all the other things that were like minimal things to set me up without having to do the thing, until eventually I had no more excuses. What do I mean by that? Well, I moved the light into there. I gathered all the Christmas things. I gathered all my props. You know, I had everything set up ready to go, and I kind of took my time doing it, and I kind of was dragging my feet, but I did all the little things till eventually it was like, all right, let's just do it, because everything's put in place. So like with Christmas right now, maybe you're dreading getting out the Christmas decorations, or you're kind of putting it off. But you know, if you just, you know what you can do with your bad attitude and dragging your feet, you can kind of sweep the area. You can move those things out of the corner that the Christmas tree goes into. Like, you can just slowly take your time until eventually you've got this gaping hole in the corner of the living room. And it's like, well, I might as well put up the tree, or else what, you know, we're gonna just leave this hole here all week long. That's dumb. So for me, I had everything set up. I had my camera set up, and I had the speakers set up and everything, and the lighting. And I was like, well, at this point, I'm just wasting daylight because everything's set up ready to go. But I took my time doing those small things while I wanted to procrastinate, while I was not in the mood, until eventually it was like, okay, well, everything's set up. So the same thing with, like, maybe if you have an MLM business and you're gonna do a holiday party or something like that, you know, taking your time to like gather everything up and make your social media posts and do all that stuff until finally it's like, okay, let's actually make these kits or whatever. I don't know what your business is. But, you know, doing all the peripheral things, like you shut down everything else on your computer and you open the programs and you pour yourself some coffee and you get some music going, and finally you're like, okay, let's just sit down and write now. So that was something that helped me was, you know, I think a lot of motivational people don't talk about the fact that a lot of times we're going to have a bad attitude. We're not going to feel like it, right? We're not going to want to. And one of the things that really helps me is to do all the stuff on the outside edges and work your way into that big task. So if you can knock off all the other small things while you kind of feel cruddy, right? And then it's basically, okay, all that's left is to actually do the thing. I did everything else. I set myself up for success. I have no more excuses. So that's what I wanted to tell you, because guys, we're headed into just more crazy, more to-do lists, more going on for the holidays than ever before. Each year it seems like it's nuttier. This year, because we moved to LA, if you haven't been following me, you know, that means we're actually gonna be gone for like 2 weeks in December to go visit family and be back home in Oklahoma. That's a long time to be away. That's a lot of new challenges for me that I haven't had to work on before. And so that also means that I have less time to do my December tasks, you know. So all of these things that you guys have going on, maybe you have more business, which is a great problem, but that means you're shipping more products, or you're, you know, taking more phone calls or working with more clients this week, this month in December. I know it's not even December yet, but I feel like it is. It's almost December, right? So here's what I want you to think about over the next few weeks. If you have some big task, think about your task being the target, and then just work your way in to that task by doing all the easy peripheral stuff, the stuff that doesn't require much brain power, the stuff that doesn't really require much effort and it doesn't take much time. Maybe you can spread it out over a couple days. You can kind of just be grumpy and do it anyway. And then by the time you've totally set yourself up, this is definitely true for me with writing, you guys. If any of you have to write content, maybe you have to write things for work, you have to write social media posts, you have to write things, you know, it takes me a while. I shut down all the other programs. I get my coffee. I put my special writing playlist on. I get everything set up, and then I'm like, all right, it's go time, you know? And so by the time I get to the middle of the circle, I've kind of gotten myself into a better mental state, and I'm more positive and I'm more ready to go because I kind of worked through by going all the way around the issue. So I hope that that helps you guys. It's not... nothing I share, if you're new to me, is rocket science, right? Like, I'm not sharing some complex productivity motivation theories. I'm just talking about stuff that I feel like is like a duh, but we forget about it. Like, this is something like, oh, I should do all the little small things first and then tackle the big thing, which is contrary to what some people advise. You know, a lot of productivity people would say, do the big thing first. But sometimes you are not in a mental and emotional place to do the big thing first. Hi, Suzanne, right? Like, we're just not. We can't just jump right in and start writing our blog post or jump right into a client call if we are, you know, haven't had enough coffee yet, right? So what do you guys think? Does this work for you? Francina says it's brilliant. Hey, guys. I want to tell you something. So 2 weeks ago, I think it was, because last week we didn't have our, hi Nancy, last week we didn't have our Monday motivation. And a couple weeks ago, someone had told me they were struggling, on this live stream, you guys might remember, had told me they were struggling with their confidence to do a few things in their business. And I had told her, well, just focus on where do you feel confident? Where do you feel like a rock star? Put your energy there. Maybe try and do other things with that same mindset that you have in whatever you're confident in. And I want to tell you guys, she did that exercise. She mentally got in the zone of just going and doing like a prospect visit with a potential client, which is just like talking through the samples, explaining what you have. And she usually feels really confident when she does that because she knows the product, she loves the product, she felt super confident. So she went in and she said she felt so confident and so relaxed, and that client signed on as a wholesale client on the spot. And she didn't even expect that. She was just like wanted to be confident and go in and do a good job of opening the door, and they signed on the spot. And she wrote me a message and she was like, thanks so much. Isn't that great? I was like, oh, that's so wonderful. So thank you to her for writing to me. But also, you guys, I think it is great for us to talk about what we're trying to get done and then come back week to week on these Monday live streams and chat about it. So I would love to hear if you guys want to talk about some of the things you want to get done in December, and also maybe some of the things that would cause you to procrastinate or drag your feet or you know, not be motivated to do that. Personally, I will share with you, I have, you guys, I have the most epic New Year's video planned, okay? But I have so many small steps to pull it off. And so that is one of the big things for me, because I would love to, on January 1st or January 2nd, roll out a brand new, amazing, knock your socks off, we're gonna have the best year ever New Year's video, right? And there's so many things to do between now and then. So that's one of the things I can share with you guys. Also, it might fall through because I'm kind of hoping to have a partner, and that partner might say no, and then I might have to do a much like smaller, less exciting version, just me. I'll let you know. You guys know I share everything with you like a diary. Probably shouldn't, but I do. And I also wanted to ask you guys, since before I want you, hi Mom. Everybody say hi, Lynette. I got my mom and my auntie. It's a family reunion here on the live stream. But I did want to ask you guys, I want you to comment and tell me some of the things you're trying to work on in December. But I also wanted to ask you, you know, last year I made that Christmas Carol video, you guys, and it was so funny, and I just reposted it. You can go watch it right now at the top of my Facebook page. And I was wondering if you guys really want me to do one of those. You got to be commenting on like what your favorite Christmas carols are, which I have asked before and some of you answered, but I would love to know again, because with the epic New Year's video I'm trying to pull off, I'm not sure I'm going to have the time and energy to do the Christmas videos. Suzanne says, keep sharing your tips. Okay, every Monday, you guys, I'm going to be on here. Catherine says, I'm deciding if I want to take on another client. Sean says, make a list of things and hit the low-hanging fruit. It's like decluttering. Yeah, the eat your frog first is the other things that we talked about. Yeah, so I talked about a lot of people would say on the other end of that to do the hardest thing first, right? Eat that frog. That's a typical, or not typical, but a well-known productivity tip. And what I was saying is what Sean is talking about is like, as we work our way towards the target, all those things on the outside, you know, sometimes it's helpful to do the things we want to do least first. But again, I'm going to say, if you're already grumpy, it might be good to just start with whatever's easy and like least amount of friction, right? Least amount of resistance. Guys, I want to hear what you want to get done in December. Catherine, you talked about whether or not you should take on another client. Obviously, you don't want to be pushed to the max in a time that is crazy. Hi, Jen. GM, my friend. I don't know. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Look at me knowing what acronyms mean. So I would love to know more about that, Catherine. Like, what are the pros and cons? Are you not taking on a new client just because you're scared? Are you not taking on a new client just because, I mean, you genuinely don't want to be spread too thin in December. Obviously, you want to be able to enjoy the holidays. You want to do a good job with your clients. Hey, beautiful. I don't know your name. I can't tell, but anybody who calls me beautiful gets a wave and a shout out. So, that I say that as I'm avoiding some work. Yeah, all of you are on this live stream currently procrastinating. I know that, right? But I would love to know if you guys want to talk about some of the things you're hoping to get done in December that you're not sure about. Like Catherine's not sure, should she take on another client? For me, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull off this epic New Year's video, but I really hope so. I'm also not sure I'm going to be able to bust out funny Christmas videos like I normally do, because the other thing about that too, you guys, if you don't know, when all the fake news stuff happened, all the algorithms changed, and so now it's like I'll spend, you know, a couple days making some epic video and then none of you guys see it. Womp womp. So that's another thing I'm trying to figure out. Not to mention all the stuff that also just happens in December, things that we are, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Tiffany says, I'm working right now. I can listen and sew at the same time. Well, Tiffany's a rock star. Hi, John. Okay, guys, well, I would love to know, because then next week I can hold you accountable on some of the things that you're working on. If not, I want you to try this week, okay? Even if you don't want to share with us your goals or some of the things that you're a little bit scared about, things you might procrastinate, you might not have the motivation, I would love for you guys to try this tactic, which is to just do all the small peripheral stuff first and work your way into whatever that big thing is. Don't end this live. Well, I'm going to have to end at some point. Anybody on Facebook, I know that my comments are delayed over there. YouTube, I got nothing. I hope it's working because you haven't chatted with me. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, I always come back and respond to comments. So go ahead and comment later. So guys, I had another idea. So give me a thumbs up or a like or a comment if you like this idea, okay? Because it's a little bit nuts. But one thing I thought about doing, instead of doing the Christmas videos that I did last year, is to get on live and make parody Christmas carols on a live stream, which is terrifying, but I thought maybe it would be more fun. So let me know what you guys think about that. It's one of those things that might be really awkward because I would have to play piano too. I think I already just talked myself out of it. Hi, Kelly. Okay, guys, for you just joining us, we are talking about, Jen says nope. I don't know what you're saying nope about. Not to doing that because it's too awkward. I agree. Okay, so we were talking about procrastination. I think it's time to wrap this up. Like I said, that a few weeks ago, someone was working on getting new clients, and they used the tactic that we talked about on a Monday motivation, and they signed a new client that week, and she was so surprised, and I'm so excited for her and happy for her. So I want you guys to try this week. You're dragging your feet. There's something you really don't want to do, and I want you to think, oh, you know what Kelsey said? You know what that girl with the awesome hair said? She said to work my way towards it by doing all the little stuff and setting myself up for success, and then all that's left is to actually do the thing, right? Catherine says a live would be fun. Push your limits. We'll see. I feel like maybe it's a little too terrifying even for me. At this point, you know, I'm not scared of much. I'm not sure what your name is. Emma maybe asked if I'm on a TV show. I have a YouTube show where I interview celebrities and then I break down success for the rest of us. I talk about motivation and productivity, and I make comedy videos, all motivational, all to get you keep you moving towards your goals. Oops, sorry, Facebook. Because life is hard and motivation sometimes just doesn't come. Am I right? Sometimes we're just not motivated. So I love you guys. Thanks everyone for hopping on. I'm going to do these every Monday. Every Monday, 8:30 Pacific time. We're going to talk about motivation. We're going to talk about productivity. We're going to talk about getting things done when we don't want to. We're going to talk about how to be successful for like an everyday person, like a mom of 3 in Idaho who's just trying to wear real pants more often. On Facebook, you can find me as Kelsey Show. Same thing on YouTube, The Kelsey Show or Kelsey Show. Twitter is Kelsey Humphreys. Thank you for asking. Get a lot of love on Instagram. And Suzanne asked if I'm going to do a sugar-free Christmas. If you guys have been following me hardcore, you know that I gave up sugar and it was traumatic. But Suzanne, I switched and I stopped doing no sugar at 45 days. It was a long 45 days, let me tell you. And then I switched to something else, and I actually lost weight over Thanksgiving week, if you can believe it. But I don't really want to fill up my live stream with that. So you could just message me because I got to go anyway, and I'll tell you more about that. And anybody who wants to know about that part, we can talk offline because I don't want to fill up my Facebook, and I don't want to become like a weight loss person, you know? Like I don't want to fill up my feed with talking about weight loss all the time. I am going to post about it because I'm excited to finally find something that works after doing keto and plexus and no sugar. And I've tried other things I can't think of at this moment. Yes, I have to go now, you guys. I'm sure more videos will come. Hi, Tammy. Catherine says I'm motivated now. Yes. Okay, every Monday, 8:30 Pacific. We're going to do Monday motivation now between the end of the year. And if you guys like it, I'll keep going into January. And I love you guys. Try this tactic this week, okay? And then I'll be back next week. Turn on your notifications. Put on See First on Facebook so you don't miss it. YouTube, subscribe and hit the bell. And I love you guys. I hope that this tactic actually helps you in your life. And I'll talk to you next week. All right, now you guys get to watch me 8:30 Pacific. I know it's not, okay, okay. Bye, Facebook. All right, YouTube. Oh, I have to hit end twice. This is where it gets awkward. Okay, YouTube, love y'all. And